A haze split the humans and werewolves. Which me will be able to bring the forest to its future?
Ah, another beautiful day. It would be even better if the werewolves don't start any trouble.
Hello, sir. You must be the sheriff. I was just attacked by someone dressed in red.
An attack? Ha ha, young man. You must have been dreaming. The Jade Forest is a very peaceful place. It's simply unimaginable that an attack would happen here. Spreading rumors is a punishable offense. I'll give you a second chance since it's your first offense. Now, move along.
Looks like I'll have to reveal my identity. Sir, I have been sent by the king to investigate the attacks. Since you insist there hasn't been any attack, I shall report to His Majesty. Good day.
Wait a minute. You're the investigator? Oh, I've been waiting for you. Huh. I'm so stressed out, I don't think I can take it for much longer.
Weren't you just saying this place is very peaceful?
Well, it's for the sake of maintaining stability. The werewolves have captured Jonathan, the huntsman. If it gets out that another attack has occurred, the forest will be plunged in chaos.
But suppressing the truth will only make things worse. Since the werewolves have captured the huntsman, we should start our investigation by looking into this. What are all those werewolves doing over there? I'm not sure about the werewolf stance yet, so I'd better wait and observe for a bit.
Admit it! You're the culprit of the recent attacks.
I didn't do it. You've got the wrong guy.
There's no use denying it. We've got plenty of witnesses to your assault. You crafty humans are always trying to drive us out of the forest. I'm telling you, the Jade Forest has long been... Hey, who's eavesdropping over there? Get them!
Damn it, I've been spotted!
Who are you? We've never engaged with anyone who doesn't identify themselves.
I regret that we're meeting under such unfortunate circumstances. I've been sent by the king to investigate the recent attacks.
Humph! I'll bet the king is biased towards the humans. Besides, you just injured my brothers. Why should I trust you?
The huntsman was locked up when I was attacked by someone dressed in red, so he couldn't have been the attacker. You wouldn't imprison an innocent man and let the real attacker get away with it, would you?
You've got a point. But where's the real attacker? I'm not releasing the suspect unless you can catch the culprit.
I'm trying to find out the truth. Please let me talk to the huntsman.
You may talk to him, but I'll keep my eyes on you. But I'll keep my eye on you, so you don't...
Mr. Jonathan, I'm sure you know who I am. Please answer my questions truthfully if you want to clear your suspicion.
I'll tell you everything I know, as long as you can help clear my name.
Is it true that you were attacked by a werewolf?
I did injure a werewolf, but it was an accident. I swear, I was attacked myself.
Oh, tell me about it.
I was taking a rest when I saw from the shadow on the ground that someone was holding a scythe behind me. I immediately turned around and shot at them in self-defense, but the bullet hit a werewolf who was further away instead.
A scythe? The person in red who attacked me was also carrying a scythe. Did you see what the attacker looked like?
No, they were gone when I turned my head to check.
Captain, I'm done questioning him. Do you know the werewolf who was shot by Mr. Jonathan? I'd like to talk to him.
It's Kafka. He was seriously injured and is still recovering.
Thank you. The attacker is very cunning. I can use my notebook to record and analyze the relevant information. Isn't that Fitz? What's he doing here? He's standing next to the person who attacked me earlier. What brought them together? Fitz, I thought you went traveling. What a surprise to see you here. Who's your friend?
I'm here to visit Dr. James's grave. This is Lucy, Dr. James's daughter.
Hello, nice to meet you. You call me Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood. We meet again.
What? Have we met before? I think this is our first meeting.
Maybe she's not the person I've met. Oh, I guess I was mistaken. Little Red Riding Hood, do you know about the recent attacks in the forest? I've been sent here to investigate.
Everyone knows about the mysterious attacks. Werewolves and humans alike have fallen victim. But every victim has lost their memory of the attack, so nobody can remember what the attacker looked like.
Memory loss? Do you know Kafka? He's also a victim.
Of course. I'm going to collect herbs for the injured victims, including Kafka.
Is that so? Fitz and I can help you with collecting herbs.
Hey, what do you have to say to me in private? I should make one thing clear. There's no point in trying to persuade me to go back to the capital.
Fitz, have you noticed anything wrong with Little Red Riding Hood?
Little Red Riding Hood is as kind and warm as her father. Why'd you ask?
I was attacked by someone dressed in red as soon as I arrived in the Jade Forest. That person looks awfully like Red Riding Hood, so...
So you suspect that Little Red Riding Hood is the attacker?
I can't be sure. After all, identifying the attacker requires evidence.
Little Red Riding Hood is the only child of Dr. James. I hate to see her become a suspect. Let's investigate and find the culprit.
Wow, you've collected so many herbs. This is much more efficient than me going about it alone. Thank you so much.
It's getting late. Let's deliver the herbs.
Wait, the herbs can't be used yet. They need to be made into medicine.
Thank you, Little Red Riding Hood. You were a victim too. Still, you're bringing me medicine.
Were you attacked, Little Red Riding Hood?
I'm fine. I fainted where the huntsman attacked Kafka. But I can't remember what happened when I woke up. I'm not hurt, though.
Even if the culprit is not a huntsman, it will still be another human. Apart from humans, I cannot think of anyone else despicable enough to deceive and sneak attack.
Hey, Little Red Riding Hood is a human too. You shouldn't say such hurtful things in front of her.
Are you stupid? Little Red Riding Hood is a saintess of us werewolves, not a cunning human.
Little Red Riding Hood is actually a werewolf? Could the attacker be a human? Little Red Riding Hood, can I see the other victims?
Come with me. I'm going to deliver medicine to John.
Oh, my dear Little Red Riding Hood, you're such an angel! How can I ever thank you?
Given the animosity between humans and werewolves, it is touching that you are on such good terms with Little Red Riding Hood when she's a werewolf.
What? Little Red Riding Hood is not a werewolf! Her father James was the greatest human doctor!
The relationship between the two sides is icy indeed. Who could the attacker be?
I can't remember, but the attacker must have been a werewolf. The werewolves have always wanted to drive us humans out. You just wait. Sooner or later, we're going to banish the werewolves from the forest.
Given the animosity between humans and werewolves, it is touching that you are on such good terms with Little Red Riding Hood when she's a werewolf.
There's a deep mistrust between the werewolves and the humans. Inevitably, both sides make malicious conjectures about each other. You should have a look around if you want to learn more.
What's that racket ahead about?
Oh no, Tom and Jerry are fighting again. I gotta go check on them.
I'll go with you.
Foolish werewolf, you're so stubborn. When will you wake up?
You're so full of lies.
Tom, Jerry, why are you fighting again? Tom, you know you're no match for Jerry.
Little Red Riding Hood, it's the werewolf who provoked me.
How dare you slander Mr. Mutu?
Mr. Mutu? Who's that?
Slander? Everyone knows that Mutu the Wolf King was in love with Dr. James' wife, Lily. That was why he hated Dr. James.
Jerry, don't you be disrespectful about Uncle Mutu and my mom.
I'm sorry, Little Red Riding Hood, but I'm just telling the truth. I think Mutu was frustrated that he couldn't stop the woman he loved marrying a human, despite his status as the Wolf King. So he led the werewolves into a war against the humans in order to win her back. But in the end, the war cost the lives of both Dr. James and his wife Lily. To cover up what he did, Mutu made up a story about the humans killing Lily, which led the werewolves to abhor humans. Mutu must be behind the recent attacks as well. Tom, you're being used by Mutu, you fool!
Shame on you! I'm going to rip off your stupid mouth!
You said the attacker must have been a werewolf, but haven't some werewolves also been injured?
No, all the victims of the attacks are human. Isn't that obvious? The attacker must be a werewolf. As for injuries on their side, seeing how savage and aggressive they are by nature, maybe they got hurt fighting each other.
Jerry shouldn't say such horrible things about Uncle Mutu. He may look ferocious, but he is in fact decent and principled. He would never sneak up on people to attack them.
I still feel totally at sea. I should talk to the sheriff to find out more.
Ah, Little Red Riding Hood, there you are. You should go check on... Oh, what are you doing with the investigator?
So you've already met, huh? I only just crossed paths with him on my way here. What were you saying, sir?
Right. I mean to tell you the attacker put up a threatening letter soon after you left. It's blatant provocation.
Are you sure it's from the attacker?
I'm sure of it, judging from the tone of the letter. If you don't believe me, just go and see for yourself. It's right there on the bulletin board. That arrogant bastard. The attacker is clearly filled with hatred against humans. To be on the safe side, we should evacuate all human residents.
Little Red Riding Hood, you're back? Why don't you come home? Who's this?
Grandma, what are you doing here? Oh, this is my new friend. This is my grandma. You can call her Granny.
Hello, Granny Mozhan. Have you noticed anyone suspicious in town?
Suspicious? I think I saw, a tall figure hurry by. But I'm getting old, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be.
A tall figure? Could it be Uncle Mutu? But he would have been hard to miss, and many people would have spotted him.
Mutu the Wolf King? Time to put a face to this name that I've heard so much about.
You there! Halt! The Wolf King is here! Keep your distance!
Stop! Bring those outlanders to me!
Fitz, what are you doing here? How do you know Mr. Mutu?
If it weren't for me, you would have been torn apart by the werewolves.
What are you doing here, Outlander?
I'm here to investigate the recent attacks. Mr. Mutu, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could provide any information.
The humans deserve to be punished. They won't get any sympathy from me.
Looks like Mr. Mutu does know something about it. But some people are saying you're behind those attacks, Mr. Mutu, and that you put up a threatening letter.
That's ridiculous. We would have sooner declared war against the humans. Such sneaky business is beneath us. Enough of your questions. You should leave now.
Mutu said the humans deserve to be punished. What did the victims do to deserve that?
Oh no, there's bad news! How terrible!
What's happened?
Nico. I need to go check on Little Red Riding Hood.
What's happened to her?
Haven't you heard? She passed out. I wonder how she's doing now.
Could that be the attacker's doing? Let's go check it out. Granny Mosan, we heard that Little Red Riding Hood fainted, so we came to see her.
She wouldn't have collapsed from exhaustion if she weren't so busy tending to the injured. I won't let anybody disturb her rest.
Well, I can help you look after her.
Go away! I can take care of my own granddaughter. What she needs is some peace and quiet.
Granny Mozen's behavior seems quite suspicious to me. I think this calls for an investigation.
What's this? I'm so tired. What's with this sudden onset of drowsiness?
Don't smell it. This is a sleeping potion. Maybe it's what caused Little Red Riding Hood to suddenly collapse.
It is possible, but why make Little Red Riding Hood fall asleep if it's the attacker's doing? Why not just wipe away her memories?
Is that Granny Mozen? She misled us by pointing us in the direction of Mutu, the Wolf King, and then Little Red Riding Hood suddenly fainted. Is she hiding some big secret? Look sharp. Let's talk to that shopkeeper ahead.
How can I help you? My shop may look small, but I've got everything from coral collected from the sea to spices transported across the desert.
Sir, do you have anything that can make people fall asleep?
You mean the slumber plants? Of course. I only just sold some to Granny Mojan the other day.
Slumber plants? What did Granny Mosan need them for?
I wouldn't know about that. My job is simply to cater to the customer's needs. She's had it tough. After the tragic death of her daughter and son-in-law, she's been raising her granddaughter alone in this town. It can't have been...
Little Red Riding Hood's grandma is a werewolf?
Why, of course. She was the former leader of the werewolves. She's a real tough lady. The townsfolk would have driven her out if they weren't so scared of her.
May I have a look at your slumber plant?
It's right there. Help yourself.
These plants smell exactly like the potion that was found earlier, but this isn't enough to determine it's what caused Little Red Riding Hood to faint.
Yes, it's time to examine the crime scene.
I wasn't dozing off, sir. Who are you? What do you want?
We've been sent here to investigate the attacks. Can I ask you a few questions?
So you're the investigator. We've been instructed by the sheriff to work with you. Please go ahead.
Who was the victim of the latest attack? And where did it take place?
Well, it was John. Unlucky guy. It happened. Well, right by the fountain. Nobody dares to leave town right now. It's simply too risky.
So, no one is actually investigating. No wonder there hasn't been any progress. The traces indicate there was a violent struggle. The attacker also has the ability to manipulate people's memories. Seems like a formidable opponent.
Look! There seems to be a clump of white fur caught in the branch.
Is that wolf fur? John is a human. Could the fur be from the attacker? Wolves generally have shorter fur, while this fur is stiff and long. It must belong to Mutu, the Wolf King.
Let's ask that man over there. He may know something.
O moonlight, you tenderly fill the chamber of my heart like water.
Sir, may I ask you a few questions?
Who's playing that sweet melody? Whose tender smile blooms like a flower?
He seems a bit cuckoo. Maybe we should talk to someone else.
You're the one who's cuckoo! How dare you insult me, the great poet Karazhan? I'm going to write about what you did, and you shall be condemned by my readers.
My apologies. I didn't mean to offend you. Mr. Karzan, do you record everything that you see and hear?
Naturally. I record and publish all my experiences regularly. I call them micro-ballads. They're most popular among readers.
May I have a look at your micro-ballads?
Well, I wouldn't say no to a sincere request. Here you are.
Hey, how come the most important page is missing? Did the attacker tear it off?
Mr. Karazhan's forceful strokes left a vague imprint on the next page. The writing will be made visible by applying an optic agent. John spoke daggers to Muzzin, but little did he know that sharp wolf claws were quietly reaching for his chest from behind.
Mr. Karzan, did you see John and Granny Mozhan fighting? Did you see the attacker?
What? Did I write that? I don't remember it at all.
Mr. Karazhan's memory of the attack was wiped clean. He must have seen the attacker.
Since the attacker saw Mr. Karzan, why only erase his memory and tear a page off from his notebook without attacking him?
Maybe Granny Muzzin knows the answer. She was also there.
Hey, are you the investigator? You guys are investigating about the attack, right?
Madam, do you know anything about it?
Oh, let me tell you. The attacker is Little Red Riding Hood.
Little Red Riding Hood? Why do you say that? She's so warm and kind. Everyone seems to love her.
Kind? Huh. Little Red Riding Hood has got a fairy godmother, Flora, who hates humans. There's no way she'd teach the girl to be nice to humans. Besides, there's werewolf blood in that child. No matter how sweet she may seem, there's no changing the bloodthirst in her nature. The way she stared at me, it was like she was looking at her prey. Goodness, I'm still terrified to think about that. She looked like a totally different person. Now tell me, would a normal girl stare at people with such a murderous look?
Thank you for the information, madam. I'm going to talk to this Flora lady.
Drain her energy and present it as a gift to Queen Regina.
Regina? Is she the mastermind behind it all?
Let's rescue the forest fairy first.
Not enough! It's nowhere near enough. Her Highness Regina needs more energy. Where are my attendants? Come, protect me!
Thank you for helping me fight off the curse. You're not locals of the Jade Forest, are you?
No, we're here to investigate the recent attacks in the forest. You were among the suspects.
The recent attacks? All the victims are human, right?
Yes, except a werewolf called Kafka, who was accidentally injured by the huntsman. All the other victims are all human. Do you think this means the attacker is a werewolf?
No, I'm not sure about that. Little Red Riding Hood didn't seem herself after she woke up. She didn't say a word and she had this look in her eyes. I used my power to seal away her memory of the terrible attack so that she'd return to her old self.
She didn't seem herself, and you sealed away her memory? I see. I think I'm very close to the truth now. Fitz, I need to confirm something with Granny Mosan. Please ask the sheriff to convene the townsfolk. I have an important announcement to make. Granny Mosan, is Little Red Riding Hood feeling better now?
You've come at a bad time. She hasn't woken up yet.
In that case, I have some questions that I hope you can answer. What caused Little Red Riding Hood to faint all of a sudden?
Well, the child has been taking good care of herself. She's running around every day, wearing herself out. No wonder she collapsed.
A shopkeeper told me you bought some slumber plants from him. Is that true?
That's because I've been losing sleep, fearing for my granddaughter's safety, with the panic over the recent attacks.
Did you see the attacker when you were fighting with John?
Oh, I did have a fight with John, but, I was so wrapped up in anger, I didn't notice if there were other people around.
Thank you for answering my questions. I believe I've solved the case. Please come with me. I have an important announcement to make.
Surely I should be forgiven for being mistaken, given my poor eyesight in old age. Are you seriously suspecting that I'm the attacker?
Granny Mozhan, is Little Red Riding Hood feeling better now?
Why do you want me to convey the humans and the werewolves? If a conflict breaks out, there's no stopping it.
The conclusion you draw will affect the future of the Jade Forest. I hope you've figured out the truth.
I've figured out who's behind the attacks. The attacker is... We found a clump of wolf fur at the crime scene, which meant a werewolf was present. Most of the victims had a fight with Granny Mozhan. Besides, she misled us to cast suspicion on Mutu the Wolf King.
Is Granny Mozhan really the attacker?
No. Remember the threatening letter? It wasn't put up just to scare people. It was to provide an alibi for the attacker.
An alibi? So the attacker is...
There's only one possible answer. Little Red Riding Hood is the killer. I've been trying to figure out why the attacker only made Little Red Riding Hood pass out without wiping out her memory. Only after Madame Brenda told me about Little Red Riding Hood behaving like a different person, and the forest fairy said she sealed away her memory, did I make sense of it all. There isn't just one Little Red Riding Hood. In other words, her body is inhabited by two souls.
What are you talking about? What's going on?
Oh, no need to search for evidence. It was all my doing. Little Red Riding Hood has nothing to do with it. Arrest me if you...
Granny Mozhan, I can understand how you feel, but you can't cover for Little Red Riding Hood like this.
I told you I'm the attacker.
The culprit must be you, Mozhan.
Little Red Riding Hood, are you feeling unwell?
Who dares to bring harm to my grandma? Granny? Granny? Huh! You fools! I'm gonna make you all pay the price!
So the person who attacked me was you, Little Red Riding Hood.
Why did you do it, Little Red Riding Hood?
You hypocrites! You killed my parents! And now you want to harm my grandma? I'll make sure every one of you pay for it!
There! You're the mysterious stranger who attacked me, the other Little Red Riding Hood!
The Little Red Riding Hood who's innocent and vulnerable can't even protect her own grandma. There's no reason for her to exist anymore.
No, your hatred is justified. But the other Little Red Riding Hood has been trying to rid the Jade Forest of conflicts, and, well, she's been protecting me too. Who dares to bring harm to my grandma? I will tear him apart.
protect me. I'm just a monster.
You're not a monster. You're my darling granddaughter.
Granny! Ugh, I'll confess for my grandma's sake, but I'll never admit I've done anything wrong. I'm sorry. It was I who attacked people. I'm truly sorry about that.
No, I don't believe it. How can Little Red Riding Hood be the attacker? Did the werewolves force you to take the blame?
Is it really you? Impossible. It must be the humans. It's their scheme.
Bah! You werewolves are all ferocious savages.
Shame. Shameless humans.
Enough! Shut up, all of you! I'll face the consequences of my own actions. I don't want to drag anyone into this.
Hold on. Is that the Night Leader?
Sir, I've been sent by the king to protect you. Were you attacked by a werewolf earlier? I've come to drive all the werewolves out of the forest.
Drive them out? Wait, where are all these werewolves supposed to go?
That's not my concern. My duty is to protect you and the human residents in this town. As Prince Fitz is also here, I must ensure his safety.
I alone carried out all the attacks. Just take me and leave the werewolves alone.
The werewolves will resent the humans even more over your capture. All of them must leave the forest to eliminate potential threats.
The Jade Forest has always been home to the werewolves. You humans are the intruders. We will always remember where we're from and who we are. We will never back down.
How did it come to this? Everyone used to get along so well. Why is this happening? Don't be so naive. How can humans and werewolves ever live in harmony? Think of our parents who lost their lives. I'll destroy the humans and protect my fellow werewolves. You're too weak to control this body. Sleep and never wake up.
Are these the so-called humans that you No, it's not like that. There must have been some misunderstanding.
Shut up! From this day onwards, I shall lead the werewolves to glory!
Little Red Riding Hood, you're always my granddaughter, no matter what you've become. Somebody save her!
Werewolves have ancient secret knowledge on how to enter a person's inner world.
Please help me gain access to save Little Red Riding Hood.
I will create a jade forest exclusively for werewolves.
Don't hurt Little Red Riding Hood. I will bear all the consequences.
I failed.
Are you the other Little Red Riding Hood?
The first time I awakened was on the day of my parents' tragic death. Later I became confined to my godmother's spell, but as her power waned, I managed to break free. I'm convinced the purpose of my existence is to create a better future for the werewolves.
Take a look around you. Do you really think you've improved the lives of the werewolves? You should listen to people's voices about what they really want.
I fought for honor and survival, but what I long for the most is the break of dawn after darkness and sunshine after the rainstorm.
When will the Jade Forest be restored to peace and tranquility?
We're tired of living in meaningless hatred. When will the Jade Forest be able to start a new chapter?
We've been living in fear every day. When will it be over?
Turns out, all that I've done isn't at all appreciated. I've lost. Just do what you gotta do.
I'll put you to sleep again.
I have one wish. Please tell that silly girl that I hope she'll deliver a better future for the werewolves.
Little Red Riding Hood, are you okay?
I heard everything. She shouldered such a burden on her own.
No, it's you who shoulders a heavier burden. She's entrusted you to shape the future of the town.
Future. Yes, a future of real freedom and peace. Mr. Mutu? Mr. Sheriff? I think we should work together for the future of Jade Forest. Don't you agree?
The Jade Forest is home to us werewolves. Naturally, I shall do my best to protect it. What about you, pal?
Well, of course, if you could just take your claws off me, I'll do my best to.
Knight Leader, now that peace has been restored in the Jade Forest, maybe it's time for you to withdraw the troops?
I was instructed to keep you safe. Now that the threat of the attacks is neutralized, the previous order shall be withdrawn.
Then let's return to the Oz capital to report to the king. Fitz, I suppose you haven't found the answer you're looking for yet.
I shall continue traveling. There's so much more to learn. I have a feeling we'll meet again further down the road.
The balance of the Jade Forest is maintained by the Forest Fairy. Without her, the forest will lose its vitality. The situation with dark magic is even graver. I need to consult Mage Merlin. Mage Merlin says you'll find in the town square the next clue about dark magic, which only you can see? There's a peculiar cat.
A peculiar cat that only I can see? What kind of magic is that?
Ha ha ha! Merlin does enjoy a touch of drama.
To conform to your own mediocrity, or to face your true self? Pull out the sharp sword and confront your weaknesses?